Okay, good to have you back. Merry Christmas. And on that note, I'm doing some Christmas songs that'll be an opportunity for you to work on chord melody and which is a solo guitar style. And I think there's a sort of a general misconception that the chord melodies are really hard and they're really jazzy and stuff. But you have to play 100 different chord voicings up and down the fretboard, but it's not really like that. And the lovely thing about Christmas songs is they're in your head already, and what we want to do is get them out of your head onto the fretboard. Here's a good example of one of those tunes. Now, the melody, single note melody, we're in the key of diatonic melody, meaning that we're in all the melody notes are in the key of G, and the chords in the key of G are going to be the harmonization of the scale, which is G major, A minor, B minor, C major, D or D7, and E minor, and then F sharp diminished, and back to G. And you can see that those chords are appearing here in the harmonization that we have here. So I'm going to start by doing just a first position harmonization of this tune, right? And so this depends largely on your right hand, whether you're using a plectrum or fingers. You have to keep the melody sounding in the top voice at all times. So you can't pass by the melody. You can't fool around like this with this at all, because what ends up happening is you lose the melody. We don't want to lose the melody. Have to keep the melody. And so for instance, the first chord here we have is a G with a G on top, and it actually changes to an E minor with a G on top. And then we have a D chord, right, which we can make into just a double stop. Right, and it gets pretty low down there, but you can still do it. You can even do the A below, right? I'll play that again. So I just went up to the. This is just still a D. It just sounds a little nicer up there, and it's still easy to play. Let me take it from the beginning. Heavy down in this key. So that's a chord melody style in first position. I'm sort of reading it, but you get the idea, right? So it does work in this key, but it's a little heavy in this key. It's also, when I say heavy, I mean, and that means that the melody sort of ends up sitting quite low. Right? There's not a lot, you're you're on the fourth string, so there's not a lot that you can do with the harmony because you're so low, right? You can, yeah, I can add this low A, or yeah, there's not a lot I can do there. I can add the F sharp down here, maybe, right? Because it's in the D chord. Yeah, but it, it just gets very heavy down there, and it's for these reasons. Not that this is not going to work. It does work for a simple first position chord melody. A lot of chords moving around, but they're simple chords, and this is more written in more of a block style. That means there's a chord almost. Oh, that by the way, that's what I wanted to do. That D would be nice. That in the first measure with an F sharp at the bottom. Okay, it's in a sort of a block style. That means that there's almost a chord for each melody note, right? Which is fine, and that'll work nicely. But let's take a look at another possibility. This has no chords, right? And you will be confronted with things like this all the time. Well, what do I do with this? Well, we're in a different key. The key we're in is. So I'm in the key of D. And as you can hear right away, in this key, the melody pops out because I'm immediately just on the second string, right? So it's pretty simple. I've just got I'm not doing a lot in the way of harmonization, and then here I think I'll switch my 4 chord. 5 chord there. That's cool. Let's try that again from the beginning. Right? And then it repeats. So that's sort of fun. That really works nicely in that key, and the melody just sort of pops right out. Then we're going to have to move up a little bit, and we can do that with a D. Right. So I've got a D chord. I've got a G. D, A, and then back to that G. D again. Actually take this one step further. Let me just get my tuner out here to get this. So I've dropped the D. So now I have a D chord that sounds like this. Play with this. It's a Christmas present, and but because I've dropped the D, when I change to the G chord, it's not going to be, because I've changed the tuning. It's not going to be the way I normally play a G chord with a G here. This is no longer a G, right? I have to compensate by moving that note up a tone because I tuned down a tone, right? So there's my G chord. So now I've got this. 7 chord, I've still got this nice open A here, right? I could go to the relative minor of D. And then here's my D up here, right? There's that. And then G, and then D. Yeah, that's sort of fun. So there's a good one for you. I think this chart here was written for a dulcimer, and you can have fun with a dulcimer kind of style too if you want. Idea. I won't elaborate, but suffice to say that you've got these droning bass notes, right? That's the whole sort of point with this nice drop D tuning, right? And then you can play with that. Okay, that's it for today. Good King Wenceslas. Have a ton of fun with that. You should be able to take that right out of your head. It should come back to you. I hope it does. And get it down on the fretboard. Nothing more valuable than taking what's in your head and putting it down on the fretboard. That is what it's all about, right? And that's the first step, like being able to take a melody and do that. But the next step is to be able to do that with the chords, to be able to hear where those chords change, and this is a great tune to do that with, and also try inserting that the relative minor of the 1 chord, right? So we're in the key of D, count 3 back, D, C sharp, B. So that's a lovely change. You should be able to eventually hear these changes before you even play them, so your fingers are catching up with where your head's going. Okay, that's it for today. Once again, happy holidays, Merry Christmas, and as I said in another video, we woke up to minus 34 this morning. Minus 34. And I don't care if it's Fahrenheit or Celsius. Like once you get to that temperature, you just don't go outside. Yeah, lots of snow, pretty. Thanks for stopping by. Comments are much appreciated if you've learned anything here, and also what else? Like, subscribe. That helps the channel do things, and but most of all, I really want your comments. Right, I really would like to know where you would like me to go, and if you're learning anything here, that would be fabulous. Okay, thanks a lot for stopping by, and see you again real soon.